Alright, hello again. So, when this perks up, we are back. Oh, hang on a sec. Okay, I don't know why my thing just went off. So I have finally decided to absolutely purge as much of my user interface code as I can to essentially eliminate problems by moving it all into the C++. So now this is the only thing that my inventory system does. Or item container should be more specific because there's inventories a player specific thing. Because yeah, the actual inventory blueprint does well all this, but even then that's not too much. So yeah, this is generates some UI, adds it to some things, and then updates it all accordingly. So therefore, my UI for the actual code for the actual UI is now looking a lot more consistent. And coincidentally, in moving the code across, so I've got, I now just do a simple loop in here, clear some things, generate all the usual stuff, adding UI elements dynamically. I inadvertently fixed a few of the bugs in the UI because I had to remake this from scratch and it was doing some weird things. So now that I fixed that, I can actually progress on to making more elaborate UI for the crafting system. Not that it was stopping me, but it's nice to know that I've got all of the UI components sort of working again, because if I can find some of this stuff. So this should auto craft, I don't know, snipers or something. So you drag it in and it's now going to like auto craft. I think it's snipers. There you go. And when I cancel, it doesn't like break the UI in here anymore because it's gonna like reabsorb the item it generates. But if I, for instance, put some cloth in here and wait for it to finish crafting snipers, they're very cheap snipers, mind, for single metal to one sniper when I think it's finished. So if I now hit craft, earlier cancelling wasn't making that happen. So, if there you go, it now wipes it, adds it, removes it, adds it. So that's cool. Also, this is just working smoother. It's not like it used to kind of lag every now and then. Things would have difficulty swapping and moving around and stuff. So now, I can't put things in there properly. Cool. If I head over to here and I like teleport over some stuff. Yeah, see legs, military chest plate. Cool. And it all just updates. Everything seems to work phenomenally better than it did before. I'm not sure what we're crafting. Oh, we're crafting bandages still. Very slowly. So yeah, that's been really cool. I will say the inventory name isn't being done correctly, which is interesting. It's there, it's just not being set correctly. So let me just double check what's going on with that. Right, it's doing a get container name. Interesting. And if I just move this down here, that okay. Is that really necessary? I know that is. I guess this is stopping it from repeating it. Why do I need to call this method at all, I guess? Isn't that bound to the name? So if I go to designer, is this not just contextually bound to... Oh, it's not. Fascinating. Okay. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why that wouldn't have worked. Because it was set afterwards. Let me just figure that out real quick. It should be fine. If I go into here, because it's specifically the other ones. Create item containers. So this is another place I need to sort it all out. Oh, is this not create single item container? Oh, okay. Yeah, it wasn't running the same code. See, this is a thing, like I'm doing all this nonsense, right? So this should now be, if I remove this, this should be set up item container. Oh, right, in container, base game instance. Okay. See, this is the sort of stuff that I need to put back into the code. There's just another example of where I need to move things around. This generate inventory. I need to make it a bit more specific. You know, I shouldn't realistically have to clear the entire grid of all the inventories every time. So I do need to simplify all of this. So I could, for instance, start working on this now, but that should have fixed it. So if we go here, we sprint along, the name should, there you go, lunchbox supply crate, and hopefully character inventory. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, there we go. So they're definitely being updated correctly now. But it's just stuff like that, because it's not doing it in the code, I never really see it. And it's good for prototyping, but it's terrible for consistency. So I do need to pull it out, basically. So if I go in, it shouldn't take me too long now I've got the rest of it working. So if I go in here, goodness me, right. So there's this generate inventory, right? So how I've done this before is you take it and you just make a C++ version, get rid of the implemented event. Whoops. Oh, what did I just do? Thank you. Right. And we generate this. Okay, so now we've got our own generate inventory. So I need to make this work in the same way as the other side of things. So like you can see we've got player inventory. So this is like dynamically, this will create a player inventory. Because it's got a fixed one here. So this is on creation of this going to automatically create a player instance of the player inventory UI, which is great and all, but we kind of want to do this manually inside the code. And equally we want to stop doing this clear and remove and replace side of things. So for a start, we want this inventory grid stored inside here. So if I can copy one from here. So we got this somewhere. Do I not? Oh, right. Yeah. No, I need some methods. There we go. So we got this item container. Oh, no, that's not it. Sorry, it's meant to be. There you go. Grid panel. Right. So if I copy this into our inventory code here. Right. So what this does, this is going to be called get, let's see. This is going to be get nearby container grid. And then what we want, so we could either leave it as just something under here, or we have a scroll box and we say get player inventory container scroll box. Right, so we could have a U scroll box. Right, and this would be get inventory scroll box. Okay, so these will appear inside the code, inside the blueprints. Oh, hang on. Oh, I've got the wrong. Yep, good point. Hello. Yep, well spotted. Goodness me. It's one of those days. Right. So we've got those. Is it? Oh, okay, fair enough. I don't know these things. Right. That's okay. All right, so we've already got a lot of helpful methods here, which is cool. Right, so I need. So these are blueprint implementable events. So now we just need to recalculate all of this stuff, basically. So we need to store a reference to the blueprint class, like I'm doing here. So if we come up here and we say, we'd want something like void add container, oh, whoops. This would probably take in U item container. Right, and then we have this, and what we basically want to do, so this would be item container class. We just change this, put one of those there. Create parameter. Oh wait, no. Sorry, this should be global variable. Okay, maybe not even that. All right, fine. We'll manually requisition it from here. It's this. So if I go into here, we rename it to this. And then we come into here. Oh wait, and how have I done it in here then? Is that right? Okay, well, so now we need to do that. We do this. That's why that was complaining at me. Create, right, give over. Create the declaration. I think Streamlabs is dying again. No, okay. There we go. Who knows? I can mute myself. Fun times. Right, so now I need to get myself a reference to the item container UI blueprint. So you just come on here, right click, copy reference, come in here, and then you want the _C at the end. That's very important. There we go. So in here, we can now do exactly what I've been doing in here. So we pass in this. We want a new item container UI. Get rid of that. Put an I there. Right, wonderful. So now we've got a container, we've got the UI. So we could have this, get base game instance. What else are we doing here? So this is where we want to copy this. Yeah, that's literally all we do. Okay. Set up item container UI. Container base game instance. Wonderful. And then we should be able to do get nearby container grid dot add child to grid item container UI. Ta-da! And this is a direct copy of this now. So we create this, we set that, and then in here, create it, add it to grid, and then we want to do the cool generate inventory. So we come in here and we do dot generate inventory. However, since changing this, we do that in here now. So there you go. One problem, it was generating the inventories twice. So we don't need to do that anymore. Ice. What? Echoes. Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Now we can do this stage, and we would have almost immediately got rid of everything. So we can do get nearby containers grid dot clear children. Then we just do for you item container in get containers. Literally just this. This is a spelling mistake. There we go. And would you look at that? One couple lines of code, and we've basically got rid of all of this. So to avoid, forgetting anything, I'm just going to do this. So now we come over here and compile. Right, so now we just need to replicate this. But for now, we want to double check that everything's set up in the right place. Okay, that's cool. So we'll need to implement these. So in theory, if this compiles, I'm not sure what you mean by equals. Equals? Don't know. Oh, okay, there you go. Right, yeah, I see. My bad. I should have, yeah. Should have known. Alright, so now we can do generate inventory CPP and hit run. And hopefully that will break. Oh yeah, because I haven't, damn it, I did it too fast. I needed to sort those out first. Come on, we're so close. If I can get this going as well, then there's only a few more UI components that realistically need fixing in the same way. I think this is fine. Yeah, this is like all in C++. When it's an actual game and not just some random shit around the area. Yeah, let me just sort this out. So I need to override that and that. So this is the player inventory. Right, let me name these properly because this is the player inventory container. So I can get rid of the player inventory. And then this is the inventory grid. So we want the inventory grid. Oh, that's interesting. Do I have a get? Ah. That's a fair point. Okay, so I had the container and I need this to have an instance of that. Okay, so I need to get. Oh no, that sucks. Okay, so I also need this to be that. Okay, this is gonna be a little problematic. Okay, so that's adding that to the grid. This is gonna generate this, so that's fine. And then in here, we need to do the same thing here. And we want the inventory UI, so we're gonna have this. So we want a getter for this. Extensions be sharper. I'm lazy, but this is already taking longer than I needed it to. Oh well, Gerson says this. Yep, go. Don't know why you bothered to put it there, but whatever. Nope. Come on. Okay, that's that. Right. So we've got all of that sorted. So these are going to be set here like this. So this is going to be the inventory. So that's the item container. So now I need to get the player. Oh, hang on. No, it's just another container. Interesting. Okay, I'm jumping the gun a bit here because this is. Okay, right. Look, I don't need. Because this is the inventory UI. Okay, right. Sorry, I've gone a bit overkill with that. This is right, because this should be the static one. Okay. But we just create it in here in the same way that we do here. But instead of the past in container, we do this. Wait. And then this, we simply do. Oh, this is meant to be a you can item container UI. Okay, we're just gonna call this player container UI. Right. And this is actually going to be called get player container UI. To be more specific. See, this is the advantage of like making these things from scratch. Right, because this is going to be get that. Add child. Okay, so now that's being added to the scroll box. So this is like a single instance of UI, and this is all of them. And this should have a and that equals no. Okay, cool. Right. So where did we get up to? We need this, so I need to recompile this. There's a lot of parts to this, but once it's done, the blueprint will have basically nothing left. Okay, right. So in here we want to go. Oh, I've actually eliminated the need to do this now. Okay. So that's cool. So if I recompile, yeah, I could probably get rid of this pretty safely. It's either going to work or it's not. So we have this get nearby container. So that's actually this inventory grid. And then we have the get player. This is the player inventory container scroll box. Wonderful. Okay, so they should be set. There's nothing else I've missed. And if I come back into here, so that the generate inventory in the blueprint, we'll call this. We clear the children, we recreate the container UI, we make the player UI, but we only make it once, and then we're good to go. I will need to put this in here because it might not always have things in it. Okay, so if I regenerate this, I mean, I've already got a guard for that, so it should be fine. Right. So this is either going to work first time or not at all. So I can actually delete both of these. The add recipes is something I need to work on next. Wow. All right, cool. And if we come over here, okay, right. Evidently it's working. Cool. It's a start. Oh dear. Nice. Have I forgotten to... Oh, we're adding it to a grid for some reason. That's a good point. Why are we using a grid? Alright, I'm going to replace this with a vertical box. Yep, so this should be complaining. So if we come down here, now we need to change this. Now I suspect that things like vertical box and all that are going to have a base class that I can set this to. So there you go, there's a U panel widget, right? So if I change it to this and call it panel, right? And then we come into here and we delete that. Oh, hang on. I deleted the wrong one, but it doesn't matter. I'll change both of them regardless. So there's U panel widget for both. Let's just double check. Yep, panel widget, wonderful. So if we then coincidentally come up here and we just delete that as well, compile, recompile the code here. Oh, yeah. Okay, I've got to recompile the code. Let's clear the log. Okay, wonderful. Right, so then we come here. We go here and we override that one, which is going to be this. Beautiful. Compile. And then we override this. Get rid of that. Do that. Do that. See, it's been a while since I've done this kind of stuff, and evidently I've been needing to do it for a while. Compile, save, right. Let's see. Oh, look, it works, right. What more do you want in life? They disappear, they come back, they disappear, they come back. Everything's so much faster as well. This is what's so crazy. Because I've stopped it like double generating. I've made it do it from a different context. Things are only populating information when they need to now. So yeah, it's really coming along. There we go. Right. I mean, you know, we can have a vest and we can swap those out, and oh, got some military legs, and take a pistol, get some more ammo. Then we can pew 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 with a pistol. Now we can see this guy. Wonderful, right? Oh, I do need to change the grid UI stuff. It's a bit much. Let me get rid of that real quick. Main grid. One second, whatever. It can draw it and then disappear. There it goes, right. Beautiful. Okay, so we have successfully got rid of an absolute ass ton of unnecessary blueprints code. So now all we have is a few simple things. And now we just need to do it with the add recipes nonsense as well. And I can get rid of the generate inventory entirely once I've done that. So the add recipes is currently pretty much just adding a crafting container, which I can now dynamically generate, to a box. Right, so what we want to avoid, obviously we want to avoid doing any of this in here. So this is where all of the new stuff comes in. So we need to make an actual crafting device UI component. Right. And then that will manage all of the stuff that this is doing. So I could copy this out, put in code, and then make this inventory generate it dynamically. So that will be cool. Right. Just gonna stop for a second. Oh man, let's just play around a bit, right? So things are still working. I do need to double check every now and then to make sure stuff's doing what it should. Things are swapping, I can transfer. Oh, it's so much faster. So when you hold shift and right and left click, it does a transfer from the left section to your player inventory, right? So there's some like code inside currently this UI, and if you left click and you have shift down, it will get the controller, get the player inventory. It will check that we're not transferring it from the same place, and then it will do a simple automatic transfer, which is really cool. So, you know, this will this is what's driving this ability to do that. But it doesn't go the other way, which is something I've been wanting to get working for a while. And now that this is all done in code, so if I wanted to do that, I could in here have like an else. If it is, I can do. So we've got the player inventory. Do we have? I'm just out of curiosity going to see how much of this I can actually make happen right now. So do we have? Yeah, okay. Okay, so it's not exposed. So if I do, what am I trying to do? I want to do tools, no extensions, resharper. I really want a shortcut for this. I don't know why they don't. Inventory widget. Get rid of all of that. I'm just gonna shove this up here. I do this. So now from code, we could do the get inventory widget. So in here, I can do this dot get inventory widget. Then I can do dot get containers. Right, and if we do to be a t-array item containers item containers equals this. So this is going to get all of the containers in our currently displayed in our inventory. Now we can go if not containers dot is empty for item container I see in containers. Okay, now we can do some cool stuff. So if item container dot let's see, how are we doing it? We're doing okay, so I'm gonna do this is okay, so I could do the same thing here, right? So I could do IC transfer item, and then we have so f instance item data IID, and then we go if IID dot amount greater than 0. So I could actually equals 0, then we break. So what this is going to do is it's going to try and transfer the item from one slot container to the next. So this get item container so this is the to, so this is the from, so sorry, the to container, so that's fine. And that's the item container we've got selected. So we also want to do if we want to copy that, and instead of the player inventory we have it as this. So this will stop it from pushing it into the same place, which it shouldn't do because we should be in the player inventory actually. Actually, yeah, technically I don't have to do that, so that's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, so now if I hit compile, just with that alone, I should now have enabled the ability to shift click into the player inventory, and if there are any other open inventories, it should transfer it to the first one available. Eventually I can make it do some really fancy find matching items and blah blah blah, but so if I go here, oh, it just works. I can remove all of my stuff and then I can put it all back, and then if I come over to here and now it's there, and if I go here it doesn't do anything, and if I go back it, oh, I love this. It's just, yeah. All right, what have we done? Let's see. Obviously there's a something transitioned. Failed to find. Right, cool stack. So where did we come from? Okay, so we've got a null in here, and that's because so in here, oh no, in here, what have we got? Why do we have... This isn't null. Let's think about this. So this is the item container of the item. Which in this case would always be the player inventory. Because we know that to be the case. So what part's null? So we've come up to here. And this is not null. But this is. So how is it possible to get null UI item UI? So that's if the container disappeared whilst I was moving. So this is where we need to start a sort of a transactional state thing and make it so the UI doesn't actually disappear. It just gets stored somewhere and doesn't get recreated if it doesn't need to. So what I'm going to do, the obvious thing here is to if this, do that. But what, so the reason we ran into this is to do this only happened due to the UI moved sweep around. Okay. So realistically, to fix this particular problem, I would every time I create any UI components for the inventory system, I would store them statically in a list. So that way you never recreate them. So for example, oh, I've lost the inventory UI component. Wherever that's gone, there it is. So when we're in here, and we're doing this would call out to the base game instance, and the base game instance would hold a list of previously created UI containers using the container dot get container instance ID. So there would be like a tmap, whoops, int 32 wait, go away. One of those, and this would be like created item container UI. And then this would be a get otherwise create, right? So we would access it and then set it all up. And then all we're actually doing is adding and removing UI rather than destroying and creating UI. So this would save a lot of problems. And ideally, I would do this. I could do it statically inside the UI itself. So, for example, I could... Let's try it with this actually, because if I can do it in here... So if we have static this, then I think for that I need to come into here, define it. Something like that. And then instead of doing what we were doing before, so we would copy this and we would have u function blah blah blah. This would be a static u item create container, and this would be create or get item container UI. And then in here, we can copy what we're doing inside the inventory. So we would get this, put it in here. Now we need the class as well. So we want to so if I copy this, scroll down here. That's interesting. I already have it in here. Oh, no, I don't. Hang on. I'm being an idiot. Wait, let me go back. So we do want this. We're getting there. Right. We come up here, then we put this here, then we put that there, we put that there. Already been defined or declared. I don't believe that to be the case. No, oh, give over. Right, look. Oh, this is insane. Right, just close things I don't need, okay? Right, you can go away, you can go away. Right. So let's fix this, because this will massively simplify things. So I don't actually need this in here anymore. So we put this in here, and we go... So now... Because now... Okay, so I'm not sure why this is complaining. Oh, because it's not static, right? That would be why. Okay, cool. So we got that. Now everything's happy. Would you look at that? Right. Oh wait, that's that. Why have I got... Okay, I'm not sure why I've got that there at the moment. Okay, sorry, right. So in here... Good griefs, people are really screaming outside. Sure, right. Okay, have you just like not done it? Thank you, right. Okay, so this is item container. Oh wait, no. So that's the container class. That's this. So what we want to do is we do if create dot contains that dot get container instance ID. Then we do that else this. Okay, and then this will be this equals that dot find checked. Ah, goodness me. Oh, I have no idea what they're doing, and it sounds like somebody's actually dying. Right, so we add this. Yeah, probably. Who knows? People do get a bit wild, you know. This, and we're done. Right. So I don't know why. Did I not just... Okay, so just to reiterate everything, because this has driven me a little insane already. So, this is going to dynamically either create or find the UI for the relevant component. Basically, so if the inventory UI already exists, it makes it. Otherwise, it just sends it back. Otherwise, it creates a new one. Yeah. So in here, we do this. This. And then we do this. And that. And then we do this. And we cut that, replace it with that. Get rid of that. And we're good to go. Now, I'm not sure how the updates are going to affect this or not, but we shall see what happens, because in theory, the UI shouldn't really cost too much for the UI to persistently update itself. But we'll see what happens. Right, where are we breaking now? Oh, I need to do... Oh, okay, so I need to pass in a controller. I think that's what I need to do. Pardon me. Okay, so in here, we can do a bass, player controller, controller, and this should give it context. Oh. Huh. Yeah, assuming you spell it correctly, of course. Oh, actually, let's just leave it as regular player controller. There's no point passing in more than we need. This would be get. There we go. Right. Okay, so that should be that finished. That's that working. Wait. Interesting. Okay. I guess that's fine. Let's use as get owning player as well. Okay. Sure, why not? All right, so that's going to set it all up. And in theory, now every time we try and get a item container UI, this will, yeah, only have to create it once each time. And then I can do the same for, let's see, recipes as well. Would probably make sense. So we generate the recipe UI once per recipe ID. So I can go and do that in a bit. Yeah, so I'm adding it. setting the IDs. Alright, well, wish me luck. Okay, so it didn't work with the player, and it isn't working with them. Cool. Oh. Okay, that's why. Right, so we get rid of this. We get rid of that. Um, yep. It was working, I just hadn't, yeah, yep, right, cool. There we go, okay, right. I'd left some, if statements in that didn't need to be there. Come on, you got this. I believe. Alright, good. And player inventory. Nice. And other inventories. Okay, sure. It's working. Oh. Right. Yep. Okay. So what have we done? Where have we fucked up? Ah, helps if you pass in the container. What's really cool though, so this is actually functioning really interestingly. So oh, fuck's sake. Okay, well, because it had already created the player's inventory, it allowed it to transfer between panels, which was pretty cool. So when I was doing an add to grid on one of the containers, it would switch it from one to the other. So interesting to see that that can work. Not ideal, but you know, unfortunate that it thinks this isn't implemented by anything, because it most certainly is, but who knows. Okay, come on, round two. Huzzah! Oh man, that's so good. If we go over here. Cool. And yeah, this should still work. So if I... Oh, look at that. It has no problem doing this. Obviously, I'm like selecting things and it needs to like re-trigger the selection and stuff. That's so cool. Okay, so let's just fix that because that's a pretty easy thing to sort out. So let's see, that's in the player controller, I think. Let's just get rid of. There was a few, yeah, there's a player controller thing there. That should stop some stuff from being left over. It's either the player controller or somewhere else. Oh wow, there's a lot of shit going on in here that I certainly don't need. Open inventory, close inventory, load inventories. Yeah, it's here. so there's this interact methods. Okay, so let's see. We have the inventory UI. So there's this get containers. Containers.add. In theory, okay, it's in the character. Dot remove. Here we go. So in here, yeah, so this is how it triggers it. So I actually need to make this, so it's got a highlight thing, but what we want is another method, and it's like, clear or something. Does this have those implemented? No, it doesn't. Okay, so this might cause some interesting problems, but for now we will oh yeah, I'd forgotten how this works. We want to find, well, just find all references, right? Intriguing. Is it the eye interactable? Oh, it is. Okay, so if I then find, that should only be these two. Wonderful. So in here, we basically do this and we call it clear. Right, and then thanks, that's not what I was trying to do. Generate definition. It will be a highlight with false, and then it will, basically this is where we want to tell the UI, so we want to do get item container. Do we? Huh. Oh, this is tricky. So this has a container, so I could, I need to get the UI that this belongs to. So that when the player moves too far away, it wipes it out. I can do that pretty easily. It's interesting because it's the player component, the UI on the player controller that is actually removing them. I'll have to think about that. Unfortunately, I've got to do this in the character as well, so If I go here, there should be a hide method somewhere. Highlight even. Please stop doing that. No, go back. Highlight false. Okay. In this case, I could do it, right? So I could get inventory. Let's get inventory. That's not the UI for it. This is the problem. The UI is bound to the thing which doesn't control it. That's most unfortunate. So somewhere in here, we now have this clear. Okay. All right. Here. Okay, so we can now sort of replace this with clear. So there's get inventory. So we have this update containers method. So this is where we can, so in here, there should be, oh, that's a point. Wait, player characters. This is a U inventory. I think it's the player controller. If I do update containers updated, yeah. So this is where it would run generate inventory. So this is where we come all the way full circle. Oh, this is still the blueprint implemented event as well. Is that still doing anything? I think it's just running the Oh yeah, okay, so I still need it to do all those things. Right, fine. Because that's what we're about to work on. Oh, I don't know why it's done that. Okay, so we're getting this run still. We're here. So this is where we might want to, for example, loop through the UI. So I would do something like realistically, instead of having a generate, it should be a sort of container removed or something, right? So in here, the containers updated should probably have some kind of added or container added or removed thing. So let's do this, right? So we want to add a to do add method for adding moving specific containers. The UI to only update them visually. Okay. Well, yeah, we've kind of gone a bit full circle with this and it doesn't really help. So whatever. But nevertheless, the UI is still working. Oh, hang on, I need to that's a point. Is it storing them statically on? I think I need to make this list inside of something inside the game instance instead. So if I go here, can you please do what I'm telling you to? Okay, fine. Right, if we come in here, we copy that out, and then we go into the game instance. We scroll down here, and we do this, do that, UI property. We come out of there. We go into here. Steal this. Put this in here. Okay, there we go. Then we have that in there. Then we go game instance. For declaration. Oh, right. Then we want to tools, extensions, that edit, generate, gets and says, wherever it's gone. Huh? Okay, am I just not? Okay, I don't know why that's not working. So I just come up here. That's interesting. Huh, cool. I'll have to look into where I'm using that. So it's just going to be that. One of those. One of those. Right. Oh, come on. There. Okay, so now all I have to change in here is this. Right. We come back here. Copy that. Equals. Get created item container UI. And we're done. Right. So this will now persist inside the game instance rather than in here, which means that the game, when it's not running, will be deleted, and then the static thing will get removed. Because, yeah, otherwise it kind of hangs around. So I'm curious, I've got all this really fancy things happening. Where was it? I was using a T function somewhere. Was it up here? No. Here it is. So this is get data by ID. And it takes in a T function pointer. Yeah, cool. So this is like, yeah, this is going to return some data based on a type with like a specific kind of filter. And so I could copy this and I could have, say, F container let's go instance. Instance container data. Change this to CD. And then this could be that. And then this would be oops. And then I can use this and I can change the filter and then I just reuse this to get data by ID. And it will just always return what I need. And I think I need to have T default item in here. Because then, and for example, so there's, I don't know, I'll do that another time, but that's pretty cool. That's really fancy coding. Okay, right. Oh, everything's looking pretty good so far. The fact that this just instantly flicks on and off like it does as well. Yeah, so obviously I still need to fix the on hover side of things. I just need to add a method to clear selection, which is what I was trying to do. Anyway, this will be crafting things that I can't fit in my inventory still, so yeah. Awesome. Okay, so we've tidied up some more things, and now the only thing left is to actually make some new UI. Right. So, how the hell do I want to do this? Um, hmm. It's tricky. So I ideally the way this UI should be laid out is like so let's just come into here. So obviously oh it's still having problems with this. What's happened then? I really want this to filter on my things better. Load inventory. Open inventory. Oh, is it gone? Right. So what's the actual error again? Okay, hang on, if we go to the top. Slot template is no. Right, that shouldn't matter. This looks kind of null to me. Um, but it's not, okay. Uh, content removed from parent. This is after we create this. Ah, okay. So hang on, if we do a not equal to null, and then we want a thing. Do I have one? I've got one. There we go. Close others. Play UI container was null. Whoops. Okay, so that's one thing there. And then we kind of want the same down here. Not equal to null. Okay, so I mean, not great, but it will do. So add container to grid, and then this is gonna just be called that. All right, well, yeah, I need more tea, so I'll be back imminently. So, let me also do something that will be useful for later. If I go back to the game instance, I can copy this, put it in here, and just for now, this isn't going to be static. Okay, and then this is going to be, so we have, pardon me, wait, isn't this doing the same thing? All right, yeah, we wanted this to be panel widget, panel. Yeah, hang on. If I do that, right, let me just fix some things. Get rid of that. So if we come back into here, this should be using that. And then this should be passing in that. And then this should be passing in that. Oh, all right, yeah, container. Hang on. Don't need any of that anymore. Wait, there's the wrong one. It's this. Oh, hang on. Blast. I need this to return u item container UI. Come back into here. Do that. Turn that. Plague that is going to equal that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Right now I don't need any of this. Okay, sorry, right. That was a little chaotic. But now in all cases I can have this created UI and we go here dot add a container dot get container instance ID item container UI. There we go. Right, perfect. So this will now retain its own stuff. And then when it does this, it will also do this dot empty. Right. But beforehand, we want to do this kind of thing, and we want to do this, and we want to do this, and in fact we want to do auto reference, and then in here we could do sort of some kind of dot value dot reset or something. There we go. Right, problem solved. That will do for now. Okay, so this should still work, hopefully. Should be able to see the UI being generated in both cases at the same time. So we're passing the player inventory, passing the panel. We're only making this whole thing once. And then this will tell us if something's null. So hopefully it won't take long to sort that out. And it's now maintaining a list of things that it's made. So I can then add a UI reset onto it. So if I go onto here, I probably want to have I don't know, I'll just copy the, I don't know, this and make it a UI event. Right, hopefully. Cool, right, still got an inventory and we should, wonderful. Would you look at that? Right, now if I run around here, okay, cool, and we can transfer things and swap things around still. Good, right. So yeah, if I go in here and I copy out this method, I wonder if it's because I've got that. If we say, so this is void and this is going to be like clear selected or clear. Let's say container moved. Let's be really explicit. Okay, because that's what it's exactly what it does. Because this is where we avoid fucking it up, basically. If it says the right thing, then we're good to go. Cool, right, so inside the I'm container UI, so in here we want this container removed from UI, and basically, do we have we do have an item UI at slots array. Do we have a get item slots UI? We do not. So if I go in here, we go extensions and this and gets and says and item slots thing here. There we go. And we copy this. We put that there. We put that there. We do that there. And then we can hit regenerate in here. And then whilst that's loading, we can look at the other bit of UI that we're going to be tampering with. Does this have... Oh, all right, thank you very much. Selected, unselected in here, it doth not. Okay, so we want another thing in here, which will just be calling clear selected state or yeah. Okay, I just need to reload again. All right, I don't know what that was, but whatever. Okay, wonderful. All right, so we come in here, we got this, and in theory we should be able to get what did I call it? Get item UI at slots. Hmm. Bit weird. Don't know why. Oh, hang on. I need to make that a reference. Let me just recompile that. Otherwise it will duplicate the list and we don't be wanting that. It's nice that this only has to compile a few things for a change. There we go. Right, so in theory I go here and we go get item UI at slots. Would you look at that? Right. And then what we do is we for each mapped values. Okay, that would do. All right. And then array element, we can do what was it? Clear selected state. And then we compile this. We go here, and we just have to implement the clear selected state on here. So we have a clear selected state. Okay, so we want to do this, get selected, branch. If selected is true, then we want to toggle highlight. That would do. Ah, god damn it. Okay, well the live coding is broken, so let me close this down and start again, shall we? Happens every now and then. We're close. Let me just check some things. Oh, good. Right, sorry, I was just responding to someone. Right, are you happy now? Compile, good. Right. In theory, we come over here. So the problem was oh, hang on. So I do that, move my mouse around. Okay, interesting. If selected is true. Wait, what do we do in toggle highlight? Right, so I need to do this. Right, so rather than doing all this, we do this, I think. Oh, for God's sake, not this again. How? God damn. Yeah, I need to change the nerve mesh bounds anyway. Um, Alright, well, fine. I guess we figure out why this has gone wrong again. Right. So panel is fine. Player inventory, that's a good sign. Given that this should also be a player inventory. Yep. Okay, so the inventory is null. Contains generate. So this should be fine. I know this all works. So something's not working after the fact. So if I go back, um, so what is it? Is there like an add unique? There's a find or add. I am clearing it. I wonder if something's deleting it after the fact. Name none. Ah, yeah, okay. Perhaps game instance doesn't, okay. There should be a dot, empty. Okay, let's try this. I suspect something else is going wrong here, but that would at least force it to clear some things down. But I've made quite a lot of progress with all of this. It's going pretty well so far. Some things obviously aren't working quite perfectly yet, but it's better than it was before. Oh yeah, this is where I wanted to use that method. Yeah, okay. Because yeah, I could pass in an arbitrary set of things and I'm just doing the same thing like 100 times over. So yeah, okay. Right. So we have this item BP. So let's just double check, sanity check this thing. Right. So clear selected state looks good. And then in here, we should have get item UI at slots. Clear selected state. Cool. Okay, right. So if I hover over this and then disappear, move the mouse, it does not work. Okay, is it being run at all? That's the first thing to check. Are you ever hitting this? No! Access violation reading, but what? What specifically is getting an access violation? Like you're really not like obviously if content, right? None struct null. There seems to be some stuff. Maybe it is the content. But it can't be. Let me just close that real quick. So when I make it again, yeah, name none. So it's not null, but it's not valid either. So hang on, let me test something. So if I do what it would do there, which is dot remove from parent, if it breaks here, then at least I know which bit's breaking a bit better. And it fails in my code. Oh man, this stuff gets so infuriating sometimes. Is there like a stop play or something in here? Yeah, all of these are doing duplicate things that I need to make this into a single method, but get there at some point. So I got shut down. Right, so if I do that, come back. Yeah, so it's not doing that at all. It does have a breakpoint on it. So clear selected state. Am I just not running it? Container removed from UI. Oh, I'm probably not running it at all yet, right? Because I can't tell. Yeah, that's why. Because yeah, I'm just being an idiot. In here, this is where I should do that. Okay. There. Okay. Cool. And it's oh yeah, okay, same problem. Ah, see? Exactly what I thought, right. So that's promising. So that means this is like a null thing, right? So this method has attempted to come back with something and it failed. So if I can take the oh, why is it static here? That's the problem. Oh my god, I define this as static, which means the first time it gets this property, it saves it. That's not what we want at all. Good grief, it's the little things. And it might not be that at all, right? But I'm almost certain it will be, so. Oh, I need to remove this now. I'll do a quick rebuild just in case. There we go. Cool, right. So if I hit start now. Oh, there you go. Right, definitely doing it now, so let's see if it works. Hey! And it should. Yeah, it's like glitching there. You can see it's kind of flickering because it's reloading all of these every single time, which is why I want to avoid doing next. But it is, however, working pretty smoothly now. So if I stop and I hit play again, and I open my inventory, oh look, yeah, okay, it was that static thing that had broken it. If I hit stop and play again, inventory, wonderful, right. come here, hit craft. Seems to be working, cool. And this should transfer. Oh, it's so good when it works so smoothly. I do need to, obviously, the UI is like changing its dimensions and things. That's another thing I need to work on. It's a bit much. Oh, it's crafting SMG. Yeah, right. That was kind of the whole point of what I was trying to do. Oh dear. Okay, right. So in here we got a lot of changes. This is, I mean, good grief, what have we done? A lot. Right, I've got a bit of a headache going, so probably gonna stop here though. Yeah. A lot of cool things are now working better, much better than they used to. I mean, how if I just go to this real quick, this is a much easier way of looking at it. Yeah, so we've added that. Yeah, global containers. So yeah, this is the bit that we want to fix. So this generate inventory, this containers updated nonsense. That's the problem. So if I find that, right. So we have the interactable. Um, Fascinating. So I'm just assuming that the interactable has a container as well. So there's a whole like problem with this. Because there's the add get overlaps. Um, where am I looking? Remove. Hmm. Wait, so if I where's this being used? Inventory, here we go. So this is where it figures it out, right? This is where it gets the containers. So instead, we want this to have this created UI container thing, and it will be like so in here, we would go if it would be cast, um, hmm. Interesting. If I go to the interactable again, because the things that have it are the players and the loot boxes, and what we want is the containers. Now, in theory, I could have, for instance, a virtual U object called get container, right? And then because we don't want to assume a container type, though we could, Actually, it wouldn't be too bad if I did it like that. But anyway, so it'd be like if cast, so this would be you container item, and it would be interactable dot get container. Then we could do this basically. Oh, hang on. Let me just tidy this up. So now we've got this. Oh, wait. There we go. Right. So if container, and then we can do get inventory, and instead of this get containers updated, this would be container updated. We come here, and this is a one param. You item container updated. There we go. Right. So now we've got a new thing here, and then we could do. Well, now I'm basically just doing this now, aren't I? So broadcast container. And in fact, this would be rename. This would be container added. And then if we go here, we would simply have container removed. That's interesting. Can I use the same definition for two? Huh. I never thought about that. Intriguing. Cool. Right. Okay. Wait, so that's the U inventory. It's the inventory UI. Okay. I guess this is where it all gets done. I guess I want a setup. Something like that. Okay, and this is where interesting. Right, so I need to I appreciate I said I was kind of like going. um Set up inventory. We want that. This. I think that's all we need. Okay, and then the player. Remove. Okay, so I still need to override this. So if I go back to the character, we have this. Override this. Go back, thank you very much. Generate. Return. Get inventory. Dot. Is the inventory a... Yeah, it is. Wonderful. And then if I do the same inside... Oh, where has it gone? Loot box. Somewhere in here. There it is. Generate, and this should return get item container. Cool, right? So that should function. So now when the player moves towards and away from things, so we get the container and we add it. If we scroll down here as well, this should be on container removed. And then when we create, so we have the U inventory so when we make the UI for the inventory, this is going a little all over the place, but I think this is still technically correct. That's interesting. Yeah, so we might... Yeah, okay. Here we go, right. So we're doing this, so what we actually want to do here is dot set up inventory. So that will get rid of these two methods here. We pass in this. Oh, wrong order. Okay, cool. Then we can get rid of these. And now, when we go into here, we can just, oh. Sorry, I need to take these. Do that. Set base game instance in game instance, set controller in controller. Okay, cool. So we're setting up the inventory. And here is where we would go. Get player inventory. So this would be a view inventory inv equals this. Oh, view item container. Then we can do inv dot on. Oh, hang on. Have I added it to the inventory UI and not the... No, okay. It is a U inventory. Why is this? Bit weird. Don't know. Okay, sure, whatever. Right. On container added. Dot add unique dynamic. What's it? There's this at and or ampersand this, and then we want to have a new method which will look something like, I had one before, something like this. This will be called yeah, void container added. Oh, whoops. Container. And then we have another one. Container removed. Go here, generate. Go here, generate. Just take these up here real quick. Container added. On container removed. Okay, cool. And now we can actually do some really specific things. So we have this wonderful add to grid. We can now do remove from grid. So we got this get containers and we got this generate. Right, so if we come into here, we just do this, and then we find actually that's not yet how we need to think of the proper structure for this. So currently the character is doing a create inventory, and which is fine. Then the player controller is doing a setup inventory, defaulting it to hidden. So that's all good. Then we're getting the player's inventory. And the player, when they get close or far away from interactable objects, there's this. Should be fine for that. So now we can get the container that we then say is added or removed, rather than doing this inventory container updated. So if we go here and we get rid of container updated, hopefully nothing should be using that. If we also come into here and we go into the inventory here, we want to remove this from there. Then we close this, come into here, and then this is where we do the generate. Okay, so now the generate in the blueprint just makes the recipes. So that's cool. So this sorts itself out here. That's all good. So we don't actually need to do this more than once anymore. So I can actually get rid of this. Okay, so this will be run once when it's being set up. So we'll get all of the data, occupy the UI, and then as and when the UI gets created, we do this. And otherwise, we want to have a equivalent of this. This is going to be remove container from, and let's call it panel because it's specifically grid at the moment. If we also rename this, there we go. And this is going to be void generate definition. So in here we can simply go if panel dot contains get all children dot contains. Oh, hang on. Oh no, we don't need to. Right, because we got this list, we can go if this dot contains container dot get instance ID, then we can go panel dot remove child, and in fact in here we can just do what's this going to be? So we would just want u widget. Widget is going to equal this dot find checked, or just find. Right, do that. Okay, what are you complaining about? Alright, fine. U item container UI. I'm not seeing the difference here with type. Oh, okay, there we go. Right, if widget blah 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 remove, and then we do this dot remove. Okay, wonderful. So now all we have to do in the one up here is simply do remove that, and we just pass in this. And there we go. So it will generate them all once. It will add and remove them dynamically. And hopefully should all work. Probably won't. But we'll see what happens. I've got all the relevant checks and stuff in there, so you know. Nope. Okay. Well, what have we got? All right. Yeah. Okay. I'll put in a to-do here. To do add ability to display armor container. Probably break somewhere else. Yep. That's interesting. So this is if something comes in. So I'll cross that bridge another time. So I don't think this is the one that gets run. I think in the controller's instance, it's the fact that it wait, was that what? Yeah, so in here, oh whoops. This only happens if something nearby updates. So I guess if somebody dies and then adds to our list or something. So I'll have to figure that one out. But I think the other use case should cover that. So we'll see what happens. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna do this differently then, because what we want to do instead, come down here and we do that dot contains that. Find checked. Okay, there we go. Bit more explicit. It should only ever have like 4 or 5 things in it anyway. Maybe 10 at the worst case. And once you've got all of this UI connected up properly, and it's not doing anything silly, it will be rather entertaining, I'm sure. I can start making things like with drop downs and sorting, filters, all the usual UI things you would want. Oh, hell yeah. You can see it's not flashing each time because it doesn't care about stuff like that. Oh, and the character inventory went straight in. That's so cool. It all still works. I can just run around and it just rapidly. Every time I do something like this, it really is. It's like an instant like change in the quality of the game, right? This is like something that I obviously anyone can make happen, but I've transitioned from like basic that will do whatever. There's some stuff here, update the UI, job done, to like actually dynamically updating the UI to be and exactly what it needs to be. Do I have a knife? I don't. I do. There we go. This doesn't hit multiple, does it? Oh, it does. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. And now this works as well. I've added in so much stuff already. And when you do stuff like this, making like performance improvements and things, it forces you to reevaluate a lot of things in the game. So I'm like, walking around and being like, oh, this would be cool. And what if I did this and this? And then like, it turns out that I'd set this entire thing up incorrectly from the start. And since changing everything, it now works again. So that's all you really want. I mean, even just these. And there's no delay. It just does it. And then I can start adding in like permissions and things so that certain things can't be interacted with unless you own the box or whatever, or um yeah, that's really cool. Oh yeah, my projectiles still go through the walls, so I need to fix that as well. Okay, but that was some mad fixes, right? This is looking really good now. Like this is arguably a playable survival game. All I need to do is make it so you can do base building, and there's like crafting box of things you can place. A workbench and a furnace and food and things, and then it will just be basically on par with the majority of like early start indie survival games, I believe. Ah, yeah. I just need to do that minor bit of multiplayer. It's just that small aspect of it. Oh, and dynamic world generation as well. Oh well. We'll see what happens, I suppose. But I think that will be it for now. I'll uh uh I'll stop and figure some more things out. I didn't manage to get around to actually doing the recipe UI, but I fixed so much stuff around it. I have no doubt that this is getting close to feature complete in terms of the basic stuff, and I think even in a couple of months, this will probably be like fully functional. Um, so yeah, I'll just have to clear up some things, implement a few more bits and pieces, and yeah. So I really need to, crafting stuff. This should be like to make. There you go. Oh God, all these buildings things, right? Yep. Mm-hmm. Damn. I need to make a building component, probably a crafting component, and then a UI component as well. so that the player controller doesn't have to dictate everything. It just holds onto them. But we shall see. Cool, right, well, thanks for watching and stuff, and yeah, progress has been made. I'll see you guys around.